Okay, so here we are at round number 7, and in fact it's quite late in the morning and I was planning to start earlier, and then my cat fell asleep on my work and because it's so cold here today, very cold and rainy, it's always like that on my birthday, I didn't have the heart to move her. So I've been doing all sorts of other things. But anyway, okay, so round number 7, what you're going to do is you're going to find a corner like that, and you're going to skip this first section over here. So I'm going to call them the cables, okay, because they do look like cables going up. And we're going to skip that first cable, okay, after that corner. So you're on the corners, okay, on the corners. And you're going to start into the second row of cables, and you're going to be working between your double crochet front posts together, okay. So you're going to skip that one, you're going to be working into the top of, so we'll just say these are the cables, and it's easier when I'm referring to, in the referring, sorry, I actually turned my camera off because I had to sneeze. Okay, so, for example, in the pattern I refer to this section here as the cornfield, so it helps me to also know where I am sort of in my head, with the design. So what we're going to do is going to start in the second set of cables, and you're going to be working between the 2 double crochet front posts, and you're going to start with a treble cluster. So you're going to chain 4, right, and then 2 trebles together, chain 3. Okay, in the pattern I say chain 4, and I mean I'm including the closing chain for the trebles together, for the 3 trebles together, okay? So it's 3 trebles together, chain 4 includes the closing chain, 3 trebles together, chain 1. The chain 1 is the closing chain, alright? So it's not an extra chain 1. Then 3 trebles together, chain 4 includes the closing chain, and 3 trebles together. So you're working 2 sets of 3 trebles together into the top of each of the double crochets together from round number 6. You're just going to carry on like that, alright? So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you'll have 16 on one side, and then you're going to skip that last cable, that sort of cable, I'm just going to call it the cables. You're going to skip that last, okay, so it's the last 2 double crochets together, and then you're going to chain 1 to close this last 3 trebles together. So you're going to use a chain 1 to close, and then chain 4, so in all it's 5 chains, and then a single crochet into the chain spaces from round number 3, then chain 3 and a single crochet into the, can you see, between those chain 3s from round 3, okay, and then you're going to chain 3 and a single crochet into the chain spaces. So you're working in, you attaching this section into round 3, okay, and then you're going to chain 4, and you'll go back to your 3 trebles together, okay, like that. So I'll do this with you, and then when I get to the end, to the next corner, you can wait if you're not 100% sure what I did there, and I'll do that part as well. So you're just going to do 3 trebles together, chain 1 to close, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yarn over twice, 1, 2, goodness, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, close. Now you're not doing an extra. Might help if I tuck that away. It won't look quite so busy. Okay, yarn over twice. 2, 3. Chain 1 to close. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3. Yarn over twice. 1, 2. Okay, the colour that I'm using, in case you're wondering, is Cypress. I'm a little bit random with my colours because, as I mentioned, okay, so three trebles together, chain 1 to close, chain 3, 3 trebles together, chain 1 to close, and then you just pop right over, and you're working between. So you're working at the top of those cables in between the 2 double crochet front posts together like that. Okay. So as I was saying about the colour, so the colour is Cypress by Stylecraft, and the reason my colours are going to be a little bit maybe not so well matched and haphazard here is because, I should stop crocheting when I'm talking, right? Is because the little yarn shop that I have doesn't always have all the colours, and if they run out of the colours because it's an imported yarn, then I have to wait forever and before I can get the colour that I need. So, which is a pity because you know, you kind of have an idea in your head of how you want the pattern to look and the colours and so on, and then you can't get your colours. And it seems a lot of places around here in Cape Town don't stock Stylecraft. So if you are from Cape Town and you're watching this video guide, then please let me know if there's anyone in Cape Town who stocks Stylecraft. Okay, so you're just going to carry on like that. You're going to carry. So I'm going to see you at the second last cable. I'm going to see you at the top of those 2 double crochet front posts together. Okay, and then we'll just do that back again. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Okay, so your corner is going to look like that. You're going to have that flat space there, which we're going to be working into at some stage. Okay, so this is round number 7. I'm going to see you at the end of this row. Okay, so you know, I have to tell you, I have said this in other videos. I think when I was doing the Pondo Land, I was complaining about my hands. I know it's so silly, but you know, for years and years I did clay work, you know, working with clay, wet clay, you know, you don't, and with 5 children and living on a farm and the African sun and so on and so forth. My hands are 20 years older than I am. I've never looked after my hands, and I'm always saying to people, look at my hands and make sure that your daughters always wear gloves, and if you want to have pretty hands. So anyway, at least they're useful. But I am kind of self-conscious of them, so you know, I've even bought, oh, I have to show you. So, you know, this is one of my favorite products. It's actually it's a Woolworths product, and it's you know, it's animal friendly. So, you know, that's the other thing. I always use products that are animal friendly, so not tested on animals. And then my other favorite product is, in fact I ran out of the hand cream, so I've been using the day cream, is this one, which is the Rooibos African Extract Rooibos. Oh, it's so lovely. And that's also Beauty. Does it say there? Can you see? It says endorsed by Beauty Without Cruelty, paraben free. So kind of those are the products that I use. Anyway, that was a bit of that was your advert in between things. Okay, so now we've done the 16 leaf, double leaf pattern along the side here, and we've just gone and done a chain 1 to close that treble 3 cluster, and we're going to skip over that cable. Remember I was saying I'm going to refer to them as cables, it's just easier. And now you're going to chain 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's that chain 1 to close plus chain 4, and then you're going to do a single crochet. So this is into round 3, so into those chains from round number, was it round number 3? 1, 2, I can't remember now, I think so. Okay, so it's the one before round number 6, and then you're going to do a single crochet into that chain space between the 2 double crochets from that round. Okay, and then, yes, it is round number 3, so that was round number 1, 1, 2, oh, I can't remember. Anyway, into, I will have it written down in the pattern. Okay, so then you chain 3 and you slip a single crochet into the next chains, and then you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're working into the first, that first fat V stitch, you know, the 2 double crochets with the chain 3s and the chains on either side. Okay, so you're working into that. Then you're going to chain 4, okay, and 5, okay, because you're doing that chain 1 for your treble clusters. Okay, so it's 5, so yarn over times 2, like that, chain 1 to close, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yarn over times 2. Okay, you're doing 3 treble clusters, or 3 trebles together. There's some people call them clusters, but they are actually togs, as I call them, togs. I think it's a cluster when it's more than 3, and it's a together when it's 2 or 3. So that makes it a bit busy. Okay, so you've skipped that. You know, it's better to have a bird's eye view like that. Okay, and you've done your, so as long as you don't do your single crochets into round number 6, okay, so you're working into those chains and double crochet previous to that. Okay, and then you're just going to carry on, and I shall see you at the end of round number 7. Whoopsie. Okay, so we've got to round, sorry, not round, we've got to the end of this row, because we're not, you know, I just said that I would see you at the end of this row to show you how to go into your corners. So you have your 16 trebles, treble 3 together, double, and you know, because we're going to call these the leaves of your leaves, so you have 16 of those worked into the top of your cables like that. Okay, so now I've done a chain 1 to close my treble 3 cluster. Then you're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you're going to work into the cables from round, the cables, you know, I think of them cables, you know, across. You're going to be working into those chains from round number, so that is round, okay, so that's round number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So you're working a single crochet into the chains, and then chain 3, and you're working a single crochet into the chain space between the double crochets, okay, into that V. So it's the V, so it's the chains into, you're working into those chains on either side of that V stitch. Okay, then you chain 3 and you work a single crochet. So you know these are just your anchors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, like that. So you chain 4, skip over your first cable. Okay, so I like to do an extra chain there because I do take into consideration the closing chain on the side, you know. So in effect, when I think about it, I think of it as 5 chains, but it really is a closing chain and 4 chains, 3, 3, and then 4 chains. But because our closing chain will be counted into the next chain after, do you know what I mean? Okay, so the closing chain for the next treble 3 together is going to be part of, see, it's going to be part of those chains and not part of those chains, and that's the reason why I add that extra chain, you know. So you've got a closing chain, chain 4, chain 3, chain 3, chain 4, and an extra chain to make up for that. You know, it's all to do with how your tension is, really, you know. Okay, well, you know, as I have said before, I tend to crochet intuitively, and I feel that there should be that extra chain on that side. I sort of feel if I just do 4 chains there, that I'm short a chain for some reason. Okay, and chain to close. But you know, it's not going to make all that difference. It's just me. It's just me being pedantic. So, okay, so, but I think it does make a difference, you know. I think every stitch is kind of important. Okay, so you've done that chain 1, that closing chain 1 after your 3 trebles together. Okay, and then that's your, I think it's easier to see if I do it like that. So those are the 2 cables that you're, you know, these cables over here that you're going to be skipping, and you're working into the second ones, and you're skipping over the 2, you know, the 2 last ones again when you work behind, there. I hope you can see, it will make sense. Okay, so your corner is going to look like that. It's going to be straight, kind of across there. Okay, so I shall see you at the end of round number 7. So as long as you have 16 of these, worked along, then you should be absolutely fine. Okay, so I shall see you at the end of this round, and then we will continue to round number 8. Okay, so that's the end of round number 7, and to close, you're just going to slip stitch into the top of that treble 3s together, three trebles together, and then I just do that, make it nice and tight and strong, and just move that out the way. Okay, so you should have 16 of these petals. Okay, so we're going to call, so those are the cornfields, those are the pebbles, this is the river, those are the stones, these are the flowers. Oh, yes, okay, well, thanks so much for being on this journey with me, because, you know, I had no plans ahead of what I was going to do to increase these rounds, but I really felt that this was a block that needed to go a bit further. So we have still a way to go, not too much, until it reaches 1.2 meters. So 1.2 meters isn't so big, so you can always, you know, I'm going to stop at 1.2 meters, but you can, of course, continue into a blanket, you know, a bigger size. You can just carry on. You can repeat some of the rounds, and, you know, just, if you feel confident enough to sort of carry on, then, you know. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Alright, so that's the end of round number 7, and I shall see you at round number 8. And also, I did want to mention quickly that it does fold up a little bit like that, but that's exactly what it should be doing. What you don't want is, you know, that kind of lace. You know, you don't want that. You want the tension to be nice and even. So when you lay it out, all lays out nice and flat. See you at round number 8. Okay, so we are moving on to round number 8, and the colour that I'm using is grape. So I've been going on ahead, as I do. So that's what you're going to be doing. Okay, you're going to be working into those chain 3 spaces between your leaves, and you'll be making, so this is an independent round, okay? You'll be working all the sides independently. So you're going to be working into those chain 3 spaces from the previous round, 3 double crochets together, chain 2, 3 double crochets together like that, chain 2, okay, and 3 double crochets together, and you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to be popping a single crochet into the back. So that was the end of that, and then just closing it off like that. So that was the end of that side. I just wanted to show you how to do the end, okay, that you need to work behind your chains. So to start, alright, you're going to just pop a single crochet. Sorry this is in the way, but it's getting quite big and I've got a small table. So okay, so you're going to be starting between those 2 puffs with a single crochet. Okay, single crochet, single crochet, because you have to do single crochet, so a slip stitch, chain 3, oh no, you can see it's the end of the day, oh my goodness, You can see it's the end of the day. And now, of course, I'm trying to rush, and as soon as I start rushing, then everything just goes pear-shaped. So let's do that again. Okay. Okay, so this is your corner, right? And this is your first cable, and these are your first two puffs. All right. So we're just going to do our first stitch there, and then do 1, 2, 3 chains. Okay, and then yarn over and into the first chain 3 space between those 3 treble together leaves. We're going to work 3 double crochets together, chain 2. Okay, yarn over once, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet between those 2 puffs, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over once, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, okay, chain 3, and single crochet behind your petals, or not petals, leaves, and chain 3, like that. Okay, so you're just going to work into those 16 leafy places, into those chain 3s, like that. Okay, I'll do another one. So you're working into the chain 3 space between the 3 trebles together, the leaves, as I call them. Okay, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, so 3 double crochets together, chain 2, 3 double crochets together, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet between those 2 puffs from round number 6, chain 3, and you just continue like that. Okay, and then what you get is a row of, okay, so you can see how these those cables are forming, you know, have formed stems and your leaves and your flowers. I'm going to be working further into the flowers, and then you just continue, okay, all the way until you get to the end, to the last one here. And then when you work your single crochet, just remember to work it behind. Okay, your single crochet needs to go in there, so not like that, but behind the chains here. Okay, you just work your chain 3, your 1 single crochet, your last single crochet into that, and then you tie it off. Alright, because as I said before, this round is worked separately, so each side is worked independently. So you start and you finish and just tie off like that. Okay, so that is round number 8, and I shall see you at the beginning of round number 9. Okie doke, so we are, yes, I know I say okay a lot. It's because I can't see your faces, you know, so I'm sort of saying, do you know what I mean? Okay, so I just want to tell you that this, you know, I often work a couple of rounds together, and this is something that you can do as well, especially with these next few rounds, because we're going to be working 2 independent rounds and we're going to be working round number 11 to kind of tie everything together. So, you know what I've done there is that I've put a stitch marker. So this in fact is round number 11, okay, but I'm going to go back to the beginning and show you how to start. So we finished round number 8, which was these sort of grape petals, you know, me and my wheat fields and leaves and petals. So now we're going to be working the corners. So as I said before, the corners are independent. So we're going to be working with popcorns, puffs, double crochet front posts and double crochets. Okay, and then obviously chains to make a corner. And we're going to start. So that was round number 8. This is round number 9. The puffs are round number 10, and the front posts are round number 11. And I'm going to swing this around. Yeah, I've kind of carried on like that, and that's why, okay, it might be a little bit complicated to explain, but I think you guys, girls, ladies, yarnies, you'll know what I mean when I say you can kind of work in tandem with the other rounds. So I'm going to start round number 9 with my popcorns, and what you're going to be doing is going to be working a popcorn between your 3 double crochets together from round 6. So you're working into round 6. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm just going to slip into the back of that one because we're kind of going to chain 2. So that's 1 chain to close and an extra chain. Then you're going to work between. So kind of between, you're working between these 3 double crochets together from round number 6. Okay, sorry about that piece of yarn floating around there. You're going to chain 2 again. One of them is your closing chain. So, you know, in the next round I'll be saying work into your chain 1s, and you'll be wondering what I'm talking about because I'm saying chain 2 now, but of course I do mean the closing chain. So that's 3, 4, 5. So we're in the chain 2 corner space, you know, from the previous, I'm not going to say the previous round, but round number 6. Then we're going to chain 1 to close and an extra chain 2. Right, and then you're going to work another popcorn into that corner chain space. 3, so you've got 4, 5, chain 2, you know what I mean. Chain 1 to close plus an extra chain. So I did say marker, right? Okay, so you know that this is the Stylecraft marker. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. So that now you are experts at making popcorn stitches, right? You could probably do them in your sleep. 3, 4, 5. Well, I don't know how many of you dream crochet, but I do. I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and then I think, oh, I know how to do the next round, or I sort of wake up and I have a solution to a crochet problem. Okay, so you did a chain 1 to a closing chain 1 there after your last popcorn, and you should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. plus a 2 chain corner space. And then you're just going to snip off your yarn. So, I had my scissors here a second ago. It's always like that, but anyway. Oh, it fell on the floor. So this table is so slippery, everything goes flying. Okay, let's bring this back into the frame. Whoopsie, you see, there it goes. Okay, and then just do another slip stitch and close it nice and tight. You don't want that coming apart. Okay, so you've done your popcorns. You've done your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 popcorns and 2 chain spaces, and you've fastened off, okay, because these are independent rounds. So you're going to work that into each corner, but the way that I am doing it is I'm finishing one corner at a time and then just carrying on with my round number. You know, I'm working a few rounds at the same time, so you can do that as well. Then my next color, I'm using Storm Blue, Stylecraft Specialty K. This is such a gorgeous color. Oh my goodness. When you see it next to the denim and, you know, cypress, they're just lovely. Yes, I can go on and on about these gorgeous colors. So I'm using Storm Blue and I'm going to do a slip stitch. So what you're going to do to start this off, you're going to do a chain. Okay, so I've just taken that tail up once, alright, it just looks a little bit sort of stronger at the base when you do that, when you just sort of incorporate the tail into that first thing. As I told you before, I think there is a YouTube tutorial, in fact there is, about how to do, you know, a double crochet front post if you're sort of starting with it, alright. Anyway, so you start off round number 10 with that double crochet front post over your cable. So I'm going to say cable, but of course it's over the 2 double crochet front posts together, okay, from round number 6. So you're doing that, yarn over, you're going to work 2 popcorns into the chain 1 space, okay, chain 2, remember one of them is a closing chain for your puffs. So the puffs are yarn over times 3, chain 1 plus another chain 1. So you're only going to do that when you're working the puffs together, not when you're sort of skipping over like that, okay. And you're going to work another 2, chain 2, one of them is a closing chain, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, yarn over, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, chain 2 for your corner, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, okay, to close, yarn over, and you're working into that next, working 2 puffs into the next chain 1 space between those popcorns, chain 1, and then 1, 2, 3, okay. I know I crochet funny. I think it's because my grandmother taught me how to knit. Not that I'm a knitter at all, but kind of, you know, sometimes when I crochet I think, oh, that's exactly the way that I sort of would knit. Okay, so you've got 1 with the chain 1 space, another one chain 1 space, got the chain 1 spaces between the puffs, chain 2 in the corner, chain 1 space between the 2 puffs, and you're finishing with that closing chain 1 for your puff, and then you're going to yarn over and you're going to work a double crochet front post over your 2 double crochet front posts together, or over that cable, okay, like that. So and then you can just pull it up like that a little bit, snip off your yarn. Remember to leave a decent sized piece so you can work it in securely, like that. Okay, so it's a little bit taily, but as I've finished each section, I've just worked in the tails immediately, you know, so by the time you get to the end, you don't have any tails to work in, so that's cool. Okay, so I'm just going to hide those away. It's a little bit neater for you to see. Okay, so hide that away. See how you've pulled those cables into part of the corner design, like that, so the corners. So sometimes I'm not sure if these things are going to work out, and then when I work it, you know, when I get to that point, then I'm always very grateful that my instincts kicked in. They don't always kick in. Sometimes I think, well, you know, because you have to think a few steps ahead, a few rounds ahead when you're designing, and sometimes I think sometimes I might even make a drawing of it or something, and then yet when I do it, it is so wrong. But I suppose that's the way things go. Okay, so this is round number 9, that's round number 10. And now, as you can see, I've just had round number 11 waiting in the wings, like that. Okay, so when you start off round number 11, you're going to start not with, you see, I'm going on now to do, I'm going to be doing a double crochet front post over that last double crochet front post. But when you're starting round number 11, you are going to start with a double crochet front post over the first puff, and you're going to end with, so when when you've gone the whole way around, you're going to be ending with a double crochet front post over this double crochet front post, and then you will slip stitch into your first double crochet front post over the first puff. Okay, but because I'm carrying on, and this is how you will carry on after you've done that, you know, after you've started your round number 11. Oh, I'm losing my voice a bit. Yeah, I'm just going to put that out the way. So what you've done is okay, well, that's going a bit backwards, so I'm not going to say anything. Okay, so what you're going to do is imagine, okay, so ignore that, okay? Okay, imagine now that you're starting at the beginning. So you're going to start with a double crochet front post over the first puff. Then you're going to work a double crochet front post between, and a double crochet front post over the next puff, and a double crochet front post, and a, yes, and a double crochet front post, and a double crochet, just a double crochet, obviously, and a double crochet front post over the puff, a double crochet between the puff, double crochet over the puff, double crochet between the puffs, double crochet over the corner puffs, work 2 double crochets into that chain 2, chain 2, work 2 double crochets into that same corner space. Okay, 1 double crochet front post over the puff, 1 double crochet between, 1 double crochet over the puff. Okay, 1 double crochet between, 1 double crochet over the puff, or around around the puff. I always say over because it's kind of over the top. 1 double crochet front post, oopsie, 1 double crochet between, 1 double crochet around the top of that puff, so that's your last one, and then 1 double crochet front post over your previous double crochet front post. Okay, so now you know that's we're getting to that part kind of thing. So if you're starting round number 11, you start with the double crochet front post over the puff. Okay, so you know all of that you're going to get to, and then you're going to chain 3. Okay, so you can call it a little bridging chain. You're going to chain 3. You're going to slip your hook between those 3 double crochets together from round number 8. And you're just going to work a single crochet, 2 chains, and a single crochet into that same chain 3 space that you worked your round number 8 into. Okay, so when you look at it like that, you're going to see those pieces sticking out, but obviously, you know, once your work is once your work is blocked, you won't notice those, and it doesn't really, you know, it's all part of the design, so you know, but it's meant to be worked into there, and then they're just meant to peek out ever so slightly. Then you're going to chain 3, and you're going to repeat. So you're going to just, so pull, you know, keep your tension up there, chain 2, 1 single crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet, chain 3. Okay, so I need to stop saying okay, it's very annoying, it even annoys me. Alright, so that's your corner. So can you see? So can you see how you can actually work the corner? You know, when you start, I'm just going to swivel this around, and hopefully, first of all, and of course, you know, when you get to, you know, before you do the corner, you just need to slip a stitch marker into your round number 11, you know, and let it wait. It can wait its turn until you've done the 2 independent rounds. Like that, see? So I'm going to swivel this around and take you all the way to the beginning here. And you can see I started off with a double crochet front post over the first puff. And when you come all the way up here, you're going to do your chain 3, and you're going to do a double crochet front post over the double crochet front post, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of your first double crochet front post over the first puff. First puff, yeah. So you'll be going in over there. But I think that's fine. I think you know how to do that. Yeah, I don't have to really see you. Do I? Do I have to see you at the end of round number 11? Okay, I'll see you at the end of round number 11. Okay, so we're kind of racing along with round number 11. You know, so we're doing 1, 2, 3, and single crochet, 2 chains, single crochet, 3 chains. Oopsie. Single crochet, 2 chains, single crochet, 3 chains. The 3 chains are when you're going kind of from, you know, you're bridging that part. And then a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 3. Okay, and then all that explaining I was going on about earlier. So you've done your last 3 chains. Okay, going to yarn over. You're going to pop a double crochet front post over the double crochet front post. Okay, and then you're just going to slip stitch into that some kind of the third stitch of the first half double crochet front post. And that, ladies and gents, if there are any gents watching or crocheting, because I do believe a few excuse me, a few do crochet, and then you're just going to slip stitch. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Okay, and that will be the end of round number 11. Okay, so what you've done is, you know, after you've worked all these independent rounds and wondering where it's all going, basically you are going to end up, so you've kind of brought everything back to yes, yeah, I'm telling you all to go and work in your ends, and I haven't worked in my ends. So, okay. And that is the end of round number 11, and I shall see you at round number 12. And round number 12 is, I think round number 12 might very well be the end of part number 2, but I'm not 100% sure. So if there's a video after this, you know it's not. And if there's a video saying goodbye, see you at part number 3, well, you'll know. So I shall see you anon. So here we are at number 12. So I'm not sure if I mentioned in the last video that for round number 11 this was denim. I mean, so I can't remember now if I mentioned that at the beginning, just in case you're wondering. So what we're going to do is we're going to just scoot along to round number 13. So I've managed to find some raspberry, the raspberry from Stylecraft, Special DK, 100% acrylic, really nice yarn to work with. Sadly, it's not always available in my country, and they've run out of the raspberry and are waiting for another delivery, but in the meantime I have that. That's what I have left, so I think it's going to be enough to go around for round number 12. So with round number 12, what we're going to do is I'm just going to make a slip knot like that, and you're just going to slip that into any of the chain 2 corner spaces and chain 3, so that is equal to 1 double crochet. So that's a traditional way of doing it. And then another double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet. So you're doing 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And then what you're going to do is yarn over, and you are going to be working a double crochet. I don't want to take that tail with. You're going to be working a double crochet front post over all of your stitches in this corner. Okay, so over all those double crochet front posts and double crochets, hold on, that you made here in this corner of round number 11. Okay, so that'll be 12 double crochet front posts over all the stitches. So in the pattern, that's what I say. I say 12 double crochet front posts over 12 stitches. Otherwise it just gets too long. So, okay, like that. And you're going to go over your last double crochet front post over that last puff, and then a double crochet front post over your double crochet front post. Okay, and that's 12. So not counting the corners here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now what we're going to do is you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pop a front post over your first 3 double crochet together, and then you're going to work a half double crochet between, a double crochet front post over, half double crochet between, double crochet front post over the top of the 3 double crochets together. Okay, and then chain 1, yarn over, double crochet front post over the 3 double crochets together, half double crochet between them, half double crochet over the next 3 double crochet together, 1 half double crochet into the next space. So you're going between, so you're doing half double crochets between and double crochet front posts over. So you're doing double crochet front posts over the 3 double crochets together, and you're doing half double crochets between them, and you're doing a chain 1 between each set. So so that's a set and that's a set, and then you're working a chain 1 and you're jumping over and doing a double crochet front post, half double crochet between the 3 double crochets together, double crochet front post, half double crochet, double crochet front post. Okay. Oh, the postman just went scooshing by. Then I got distracted. Half double crochet and double crochet front post, chain 1, double crochet front post, half double crochet, double crochet front post, half double crochet, double crochet front post. Okay, like that. Okay, and you should have something that looks like that. Okay, we can just pull that out a bit because that, there we go. Okay, so we're just going to just carry on like that. Do I need to go in a little bit? Okay, and then we'll go back again, and I shall see you at the end of this row, and then I'll just work with you around the corner, and then then I think you should be fine. So I'll see you at the end of this row. Okay, so I'm here at the end of this row. So I wanted to mention here, because I use an acrylic yarn, it has a bit of stretch, and it's one of the reasons why, I often say if you're using a stiffer yarn, like a cotton, some cottons can be very stiff and they don't have that sort of, can you see how the acrylic, you've got that, you've got that give, and it really does help when you're busy designing, because you don't have to do those kind of extra stitches because you rely on that little bit of stretch. But if your cotton is quite stiff, if you're working with cotton, you can always add an extra chain, okay, extra chain 1 on the end kind of thing, so that you need to use your eye and just see if your work is sort of starting to pull in or whatever, then you might have to loosen your tension, or add some single crochets, as long as they're not integral to the pattern. But Anyway, so I'm not going to add a single crochet there. Okay, I'm just going to, I did that double crochet front post over the last 3 double crochets together, and now I'm just going to work a double crochet front post over all of these stitches. So that is 12 stitches, because you're including the 2 stitches that, you know, the corner stitches as well. So maybe just going like that. Okay, just working those front posts over all the stitches, over the front posts and the non-front posts. So, you know, those are just ordinary stitches, double crochets like that. Okay, so we've worked 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you're going to yarn over and work 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then you're back, you know, you're back in your corner where we started, and then you're just going to carry on like that. Okay, and then you're just going to carry on all the way down in the same way that you did this. So I shall see you at the end of round number 12. Okay, so I've completed round number 12, and what I did is I just slipped into those beginning chains where we started the in the corner space, in the chain 2 corner space, and I'd worked the chain 3 and the double crochet. Okay, so you just slip stitch into the top of your beginning chains and you can fasten off. So now for round number 13, because we are now on to round number 13, and round number 13 is in fact the last round for part number 2. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be starting here. You're going to do something a little bit differently. Okay, so you're going to be starting with a long stitch. I call this a long stitch because you're going to be chaining 4 like that, and that is equal to 1 treble long stitch. So I'm calling it a long stitch because you're going to be working kind of a really long first part of the stitch. It's the only way I can describe it. Okay, so you start between the 2 puffs from round number 6, and you're working over that single crochet that you started. So, you know, if you can move that over, but it will settle in and you won't even notice that single crochet. Then you're going to yarn over. You're going to be working a half double crochet front post over your double crochet front post, and then over your half double crochet, over your double crochet front post, over your half double crochet, and over your double crochet front post. So you're working half double crochet front post. Okay, and then you're going to do a proper sort of treble, long treble. Okay, so you're going to yarn over twice, and then, you know, so I'm kind of holding my yarn. You know, you don't want to hold it too tight, but you don't want to, you want to kind of keep the tension up there. So you just put it into that space there between the 2 puffs. You're working over that single crochet, and then you're just working a normal treble. And you can see why I call it a long stitch. And then again, you're doing your half double crochet front post over your double crochet front post, over your half double crochet, over double crochet front post, over your half double crochet, over your double crochet front post, like that. Okay, then you yarn over twice and you do that long treble. Long treble. Yarn over immediately and half double crochet over those stitches. as you did before. Okay, so once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty smoothly. Okay, do it one more time. And okay, so like that, like that, like that. If you've never done these kind of stitches before, you might need to just try a few more times, but it's pretty easy. It's really just a treble, but you're doing it over a whole lot of rounds. And why not? It's the thing I love about crochet. It's so versatile. You can pretty much do anything. Okay, there you go. Okay, and so as you can see, what we've done in effect is we're framing our little flowers. So I'm going to just zoom in. Okay, so the colours that I've used are not quite so poppy because, as I explained before, I'm using Stylecraft, and Stylecraft is an imported yarn here in South Africa. And so my local yarn shop, which is one of the few places that stocks Stylecraft, you know, they can only get their orders every few months. So if they run out of a colour, like my favourite, raspberry, because I wanted to actually do these 3 double crochets together in raspberry. I thought they would have looked beautiful there, but I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough yarn. All I have left over is, I'm actually surprised that I made round number 12. That's all I have left. It's like gold now. So what you're doing is you're framing your flowers. So, you know, I imagine that people will be doing all sorts of lovely colorways. And if I go in a little bit more, yes. So now you can see how we've kind of built up this design. Okay, we've gone from here, we've worked those cables and then the leaves, and we've worked the buds, you know, in between, and now we're sort of framing this round. So, you know, when I imagine people do very beautiful colorways, and you know, that will be a feature that really sticks out. The corners, we're going to do something entirely different there. Okay, so there you've got those nice long, nice sort of textured flowers growing in your cornfields. A little bit of water, you know, the water. I will start waxing lyrical. The water and the grass and the flowers and the leaves and so on and so forth. So, okay, so you carry on, and I shall see you at the end of this row, and then we can finish off together so that you know what to do. Okay. Okay, so we are at the end of this row, and these rows are worked independently. So you're going to be fastening off after this. So you've done, oopsie, my blanket sliding off my table. So, oh, my cat, she just loves this piece, and she keeps on, sometimes, well, yesterday I had to wait for ages while she had a good nap on this. Okay, so, alright, so you've done your last half double crochet over the double crochet front post. You've done that half double crochet front post over the double crochet front post. Okay, and then you are going to yarn over twice. You're going to find that. So between those two puffs, okay, you're going to just finish off with that nice long treble. And then just going to snip off your yarn and just do a slip stitch so that you fasten it off nice and tight, so you can work in your ends later. And that is, you know, honestly, my camera does not do these colors justice. You should see how beautiful they look. They are so rich and just popping, vibrant, very vibrant. But the camera doesn't show them off so well. Okay, so there you go. That is, because don't worry about, you know, the fact that it's sort of doing that, because once you do your once we start on the next part number 3, all that will disappear. Okay, so you're just going to do that all your sides, so you'll just work your 3 next sides like that. Okay, and then hopefully by the time you've finished with all that, I shall be finished with part number 3. So I'm actually ahead of schedule, because I was thinking that I couldn't possibly do them in a week, but so far I have managed to get them out in the week. So part 1 and part 2 were out in a week, 1 week each, and I'll see if I can keep up that record. So the square at the moment measures, I did actually write it down, measures about 68 centimeters. So we don't have that much further to go. Look, I wrote it down here. So yes, the square measures about, at this point, about 68, 69 centimeters square, or 27, 28. It's about 20. It might be a bit bigger when it's blocked, but you're not going to worry about blocking it now. So it should be about 27 meters square, and we are aiming for, I think we have about another 10 inches to go. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I shall see you at part number 3, round number 1, and this is the end of part number 2, round number 13. So there's 13 rounds in this part. And thanks for watching, and I hope you managed, and I'll see you soon.